cargo theft. So there are some simple safety and security procedures that you can effectively use to help keep you and your cargo safe while on the road, because depending on the type of cargo it can be costly, and the merchandise can cost a lot. That's why it's important. Now, the major fact, thousands of drivers are severely injured and millions of dollars are lost in thefts and robberies each year. And the basic safety and security measures to keep in mind is to be alert when leaving a shipping facility, keeping all doors locked, windows rolled up until you are on the road. And you want to pay extra and careful attention when near typical vehicle hijack areas. That will be including signal regulated highways, railroad crossings, on-ramps, and on-ramps. And immediately contact law enforcement if you suspect or if you notice that you are being followed, because this is definitely a dangerous situation to be in as it relates to cargo theft. That's why you always want to take these safety measures to protect, not just protect the cargo, but to protect yourself as well. And then communicate in advance. So when you're communicating in advance, you have to keep in mind having effective communication between the carrier and the shipper is key, and it's the first step for safety. Now, the shipper and all involved should know who's picking up or who's dropping off a load. And if they don't, then you have to find someone that does. And that's part of communication, knowing that in advance. Now, this includes, meaning that also tells the carrier and shipper the name of the driver, the carrier signed vehicle number, so the carrier that is assigned to that vehicle number, and the carrier that is assigned to that trailer, if applicable, if you're driving a vehicle that has a trailer. Now, you have trailer seals or also vehicle seals. So these are safety measures used to deter or prevent theft, and it protects your cargo equipment. So trailer seals or vehicle seals. The two main types of trailer seals or vehicle seals are the indicate seals and then the barrier seals. The indicative seals, they're manufactured for one-time use only and is made of plastic. It's either made of plastic, wire, or thin strips of sheet metal that's marked with a serial number or an identifier. Now, they can only be broken by hand or with a simple tool, but they're not strong enough to avoid intrusion or breaking into or theft. And then you have barrier seals. Now, barrier seals are designed to prevent intrusion, breaking, or theft, and they're made out of metal or cable. Now, they require bolt cutters or cable cutters to move the barrier seals, such as high security cables, locking bars, and padlocks. Those are examples of barrier seals. Now, note, when you're sealing the trailer or the vehicle, you want to record the serial number or numbers on the bill of lading or other designed shipping document or paperwork, because that will protect yourself from being, for example, being accused of the cargo theft, or it will protect you from any type of requirements or anything that will have you be held liable for this. So these are, as an example, safety measures to help protect yourself from cargo theft. When in transit, here are the best security practices that is required and that you should follow. And that's the communications, resting and parking shortages, strangers that's asking you to stop, and then routes. And I'm gonna break down each of these four. So when it comes to communication, your motor vehicle carrier may ask you to keep and maintain regular communication by phone. So when you're checking in, call from a private location so that way you can avoid anyone from overhearing your conversation. You want to avoid posting to social media when you're out on the road, because some social media sites can actually grab and track your current location directly from your phone, tablet, or electronic device. Then when it comes to resting and parking, which is parking shortages as well, you want to open parking space. So keep in mind, open parking spaces are limited and can be a challenge if you find available parking. That's why when you're parking, you want to use all available resources, such as your technology, your GPS, your apps, electronic devices, your maps, your guides, and etc. And then also talk to your supervisor, dispatcher, or another driver, because most likely they'll have the experience and have a better, deeper insight as well, because things change in this world, in this society. So when you're resting and parking, you want to stop at a reputable, meaning a reliable truck stop or restaurants or high traffic rest areas. That's part of safety and protection. If you're in areas where most people are, most likely if something happens, hopefully not, then you will be in an area where there's cameras, there's people around where you have those resources. Now, when you're resting and parking, you want to park in well-lit areas near the door or near security cameras if possible. Then never park in the back of a building and walk to the front if given that choice, especially at night. Then you want to back the vehicle against the wall or fence. That's for extra security measures, so that way nobody will not try to steal your cargo or merchandise while you are sleeping or in general. And then you want to park with a clear view of the vehicle. So trailer seals, locks, and other vehicle security devices should be used. And then avoid stopping in dark or deserted areas. And look at your vehicle and remember to keep the keys with you at all times. And with strangers, when strangers ask you to stop, you want to keep in mind anyone asking you to stop should be viewed as suspicious. Now, a frequent ploy or an action that's commonly used by hijackers would be for them to ask you to stop. And it's used by hijackers to create that scenario that actually forces or convinces the driver to stop. So if someone tries to hijack or break into your vehicle, always assume the criminal is armed and dangerous. And you want to call the police as soon it is safe to do so. And that's if someone tries to hijack or break into your vehicle. Don't be a hero. Trust me. Do not be a hero. Let them have what they want. Make sure they have everything they want. Then, once it's safe to do so, call the authorities, because your safety, your life is important. We all have one life to live in this world that we're in now. So it's crucial. Don't try to be the hero. Then, when it comes to routes, have a well thought out trip plan, because that can be a great security tool in itself. You want to map out 2 or 3 safe locations for every scheduled rest stop or refuel. Then you want to make note of all safe locations along the route. So that's an added safety measure, just in case if you need to stop sooner than you planned or anticipated on. Then never take a load home or any unsecured or unauthorized parking area. And do not discuss or do not talk about your shipping or destination with anyone other than your company, of course, because that's a safety measure. You do not want to put yourself in a position where you are being risked of being followed or being robbed or any of that. So that's why these safety measures are important to keep in mind of and to follow. Hey, BET Trainer here. Listen, if you really had true value out of this video, go ahead and click that like button and share some honest comments about this video, because this is going to help other people as well see the video and get the value information, so that way they can be inspired by what you're doing right now as well. So also, if you want to get the latest updates, go ahead and click the subscribe button, so then you can be able to always be updated on the next instant video that will be put out. So again, go ahead and do that. And this video was sponsored by BET Life Services and CDL for Life.